Welcome to Life Served Hot, where we serve up sizzling conversations, powerful stories, and lots of laughs, all while whipping up delicious meals and cocktails while inspiring guests who have both vision and motion. I'm your host, producer, and your favorite hype woman, Asha Flossy, and I couldn't be more thrilled to have you join me for today's episode. Today, we're talking about mixing hustle with strategy, because working hard is one thing, but moving smart is what sets real game changers apart. All right, it's time to turn up the heat. Tonight on Life Served Hot, we're sitting down with the man who has mastered the art of the hustle, from shaping Nashville's nightlife scene to making major moves in real estate. He's built an empire that keeps the city buzzing. You know him as the visionary behind Linq, the go-to spot for celebrity hostings and unforgettable nights, and Noir kitchen, where elevated dining meets culture. But his grind doesn't stop there. He's a TSU grad, a businessman, and a leader who's setting the bar for high for Black entrepreneurship in Nashville. Tonight, we're diving into the mindset, the motivation, and the money moves that got him here. Bam, welcome to Life Served Hot. Hi, welcome on the show, Bam. Introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Forrest, better known as Bam Forrest. I am the owner of Noir Kitchen and Cocktails, as well as Linq Social Kitchen.
Perfect. It's nice to meet you. This is our first time meeting, by the way. So I am wearing Amanda upper shard. I got this off of Revolve, and I also have on some nude slingbacks from Aldo. I love this dress. I thought it was perfect for this show. Cameron, what are you wearing today?
Today I'm actually wearing one of my business partners. They have a brand by the name of Fan of Myself, Moan and Chad. I guess for the turtlenecks, Balenciaga, the pants, MN, ML. Sure, a lot of y'all are familiar with that one. And for the shoes, some going beaters.
Love the outfit. I didn't know that this was like a local brand, actually.
Yep, this one is. They're all cut and sewn, not just coming out of a cookie cutter machine. They go and source all of their materials. It is mohair, the actual real mohair. So
wow. That's
make sure
nice.
I want to put them on it.
That's cute. I would like actually wear that. So what's one piece in your wardrobe that really makes you feel like a boss?
I guess my watch was my first big boy watch purchase. Cartier Santos.
He showed the people to watch. These
Yep.
is what we aspire for. Nice watches. So like, when did you get that? Like after what big thing were you like?
It was kind of right in the COVID era. Everyone was kind of preaching like, hey, you need to buy a watch in a time like this. They're a little bit cheaper than they would be, and they're going to gain value throughout the time, which was correct, and I was looking for any excuse to go buy one.
Yeah.
All right, cool. It's that bitch.
That is smart. It like does appreciate in value over time. I do miss the pandemic myself.
Yeah.
A great time to be alive. Is there a brand that you find yourself buying again and again, and why?
I would say either Kith or Rude. I think because I like streetwear brands and they have like a more adult version of just kind of streetwear, of course, coming from younger, wearing the Supremes and all that nature. But Kith gives it like an adult feel while still being a relaxed kind of streetwear type of girl.
Is there a piece of clothing or an accessory that's like a goal for you to buy?
Yes, every Christmas, anything, I always tell somebody that's when I want them. Like, I need a rose gold squadeller with the chocolate face. It's a Rolex, but I haven't gotten it yet, so I guess I'm gonna have to figure that out myself.
This taste, okay? Like, he's talking about so many brands that I've never heard before. I'm gonna go home and lift them up so I can get more into my fashion bag, because
Scott Dweller. It's
Scott
a Rolex.
Dweller.
Yeah.
Okay, a nice Rolex. So it's a Rolex watch.
Yep.
I know about that brand. You getting all exclusive on this. So what fragrance or cologne do you wear? It's like a power move before you're gonna go into like a big meeting and you need to let them know that I'm actually running this. What do you put on? What's your fragrance?
So it's a little bit of a mixture. So I go with the Maison Margiela Fireplace, and they mix it with the Santal 33. They're both kind of natural scents when the Santal is very strong, and that Fireplace kind of helps pull it all together.
I love the Maison Margiela. They're different like moods. I like Fireplace. No, I like Jazz Club.
Jazz Club. I've smelled it, but I like those natural scents. They just...
Does the Fireplace have like a more woody scent?
Yes,
to
exactly.
it?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. That's why I mixed it with the Santal. They're both coming from like wood fragrances, so it's just kind of mixed for me.
Okay, mixing and matching. I gotta put you on. My mama is like super into fragrance, and so she'll have to put you on like some oil so that you can really take it.
Yeah, I see. But I meant to compliment her shoes. She got it on.
Yeah, she does have it on today. Like, I was like, you look cute. Like, thanks. I like that you put it on for my show. So we can come over here and start making our cocktails. Are you ready for that? Okay, so Ben, you told me that you really like añejo. So I got some Cazadores añejo. We are going to be making a añejo highly smoked chili sour, and it's really good.
Sounds fine for real.
It does?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
For a bartender, we normally make cocktails like without this. This causes like a lot of like wasted time, so we just count. I count 4 to an ounce. So we're gonna be doing 2 ounces of tequila today. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should have about 2 ounces.
You counted 2 ounces?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're like a pro. So we're gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. 1, 2, 3. I like a more like lemony drink, so that was a long press. Perfect. And so I made a honey syrup, which is just equal parts honey and hot water. So anybody can make this. You can make this at home. It doesn't have to be this much. You can do half a cup of honey, half a cup of hot water. Make sure it's equal. But we're gonna do, so that'll be 2. So 1, 2. And you kind of get like, depending on how sweet you want it, 1, 2. It's really your 2. I really like D Brothers bitters. So instead of like little shaker of it, I do have like a cap. So I'm gonna just fill up a cap like a little bit, and I'll pour some in mine, and you can use the rest of yours. That's probably.
You said, what was this again?
It's B Brothers. It's an egg white foam. It just helps get your cocktail foamy, as if you did put egg white in it. It adds like a nice smoothness to the cocktail that makes like the cocktail just a little bit more palatable. So I have these hella cocktails bitters, but I'm just gonna put a little bit. 1, 2, yes. So now we will just top. Make sure you really get it in there. Okay, perfect. We're gonna shake. So you can see in here how it's getting like nice and foamy without any egg white. So you can just take this top off. We're gonna strain on top of our big rock. Very nice. And then we're gonna garnish with a simple little lemon wheel. Some pretty big lemon wheels, but we can put it like here on the side. Okay, cheers.
Cheers to it.
It's so good.
Right, that is smooth.
You like
it? Egg white thing where it makes it like frothy.
I'm glad you like it. I was worried.
Look, they end up on the menu.
I ain't even gonna.
Talking about I need royalties and all that. Cause
I do need some royalties. I need some royalties, and I need it to be named.
Flossy Special is actually a perfect name for this.
Thank you.
This is actually good. Probably gonna finish this.
You can have another one.
Another one.
Cheers, for real. I'm so excited to have you here. Are you ready to make our food?
Yeah.
Okay, so Bam requested chicken parmesan today. So Bam, take us back. How did your journey from graduating TSU lead to Linq and Noir Kitchen? What led you to entrepreneurship, and how did we get here?
How did we get here? So I went to TSU and studied business and information systems. I was going to go meet with my advisor. I actually got stopped by one of my professors. He's like, what are you going here to do? It's like to figure out what I'm actually in college for. And he literally was like, go tell him you want to do something in tech. Tech is going to be big. Literally went in there, told him I wanted to do tech. And that's kind of how I went to the path of getting into software architecture and software development. Post TSU, went to Vanderbilt, studied web stack developing.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's where I got my first job. It's just like a software developer. Crazy enough, on vacation when the opportunity came for Noir, my third business partner Josh called us, hanging out. He's like, you guys want to invest in a restaurant open? Like, yeah, maybe, but let us put these drinks down and make it back to the States so we can make a real decision.
Yeah.
So literally day one we got back, he was calling us. He was like, damn, we need something we was doing invest, right? So and then from there, he maybe let us walk the building and kind of understood and went over his game plan and showed us his numbers from previous restaurants he was working in, and it made sense. And that's how we jumped off the board to kind of cross over into hospitality.
Wow. All on vacation.
On vacation, yes.
I guess the opportunity does just, land in your
Sometimes
face.
it just hits you, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's start with the onions. We're gonna be making a homemade marinara sauce. We can get our onions in here if you like. You always want to hear sizzle when you get started cooking. So then we're gonna saute this.
Also, I play around in the kitchen.
Okay.
I'm always in the way, as they say.
They just call you in the way.
For sure.
Some people just are supposed to watch and keep the cook company. That's your
I
role.
want to learn. Nah, just get in there sometimes when they just kind of train or whatnot, and I want to put on an apron and see what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think you're doing a great job so far. You definitely going to learn how to make a nice homemade marinara sauce for your favorite meal, chicken parmesan. So how did you and Chad meet, and Josh, and what made you decide to go into business together?
Y'all met through college. Well, I met Chad back in Memphis High School. And the way we met Josh, I met him actually through Shannon. They're both line brothers. We actually had done some business before in college. They weren't great businesses. They both failed, just like running the mill business. Yeah, that's kind of how we met there. And then on the party scene, of course, TSU, just always being always seeing each other. So
yeah. We can go ahead and add the carrots now. Do like a little bit of salt and pepper. So you kind of want to layer the flavors and make sure that these onions are like sweating at a good rate.
See, this is what I mean when I be on the way in the kitchen. I would dump the whole thing in there.
You gotta watch it. A little bit of pepper. You kind of want to just keep these moving. So we can like saute these for like 8 to 10 minutes or so. We want to make sure everything's nice and soft. So you were just talking about the amazing party scene at TSU. I am also a Tennessee State University graduate, and it is a great party scene. We're definitely a party school. Do you feel like those late nights partying at TSU actually prepared you for the nightlife industry that you're leading now?
Oh, definitely. I came in on the centennial year, so it was like the induction and just like with my parents and everything. It was a literal party on campus as we were coming in there for like orientation.
Okay.
And they were kind of like,
So your parents graduates as well?
No, they're not. They just when they came to drop me off, but it was centennial year, so they were showing out. It was a literal party coming on campus. I did the whole thing. Was in the promotional groups when I was in college. Promotional groups were huge, and there weren't as many. Black businesses in home spots. So you had promotional groups that had to rent out different clubs to throw parties. So yeah, you had your G-Crash, your Fly Majors, your culture classmen, just a bunch of them. That's kind of how you introduced them to the party scene.
It is like a really advanced level. Like when I went to UT Knox my freshman year, and when I came to TSU, it's a different level of like organization at such a young age. Like these are like 18, 19-year-olds like fully organizing and producing parties that are generating thousands of dollars. I don't think I was just really thinking about that back then, but like looking back on it in retrospect, I think that that's extremely powerful, especially
definitely.
Black people.
Like we had these huge mega buses that used to, no one had a car. There was no, I'll make myself seem old. While I was in college, there was no Uber.
Okay.
So to get there, they used to, each promotional group used to rent out buses.
That's crazy.
Shuttle you to the party and shuttle you home at the end of the night.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
So if you had to describe your journey from TSU to now in one word, what would it be?
Consistent. One thing I'm always good with is always showing up. Even though I'm not the best at what I'm doing, I'm going to show up and just continually do it. Consistent.
That's a really good word. That's actually like my word of the year. Just trying to like stay focused and stay to my game plan that I have for myself. And ultimately, I have no other choice but to win. So that's a great word. So I have a quick fire game. What is your biggest lesson, your biggest risk, and your biggest win?
My biggest lesson, I think, is with my partners. Both my partners are very optimistic, and I'm very much a realist, which sometimes comes off as pessimistic, but sometimes leaning on them before we make a decision. Sometimes I'm like, man, this don't make sense, this, that, and the other. And they told me sometimes you literally have to let go, let God, and just kind of believe in yourself. They will say, run it. They're like, man, get out and run it, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, cool, and I needed that a lot. So that lesson of just kind of trusting yourself, trusting the people around.
And stepping out on faith also. Because when you do like the work, doing the hard part, like, and all you got left is faith for it to make it happen, it's inevitable at that point, you know, because you've done your job. So what has been your biggest risk so far?
My biggest risk? It was the COVID era. There were a thing, options trading, but they were like option trades on merger companies. So these merger companies were just basically merging with companies and just kind of dropping them off a large investment. So I really didn't understand it at all. Options trading was just like a lot of charting and things of that nature. And my little risk where we were just in these Reddit groups or whatnot, just kind of taking advice from some random stranger on the internet to bet on these option plays. And it was betting a significant amount of money. But they did pay off, but that was literally the riskiest, dumbest thing I probably ever did, but it so happened to pay off.
That's good.
Yeah.
Reddit has some really good advice. If you ever need to like look up, if you think that you're going through something so specific in your life, you're not. Somebody has gone through it before on Reddit, and they will give you keen details on how to get out of whatever kind of pickle that you're in.
Yeah, because they had a lot to teach. And
I love that. And your biggest win? What has been your biggest win so far?
I'd say Noir, because I told you how we made a decision, just kind of coming off a vacation. And calling my father, just like, do you got X amount of dollars to lose? I was like, yeah. It's like, what do you need to do it? All right, cool. And decision was made today. So far as put me in position to be able to step out of my 9-to-5 world and just go full-time entrepreneurship.
So now we can go ahead and add our garlic. So this is like a mirepoix. You know, normally you'll see a mirepoix with, so you can just dump it in here. So normally you'll see a mirepoix with, it always has celery, onions. Sometimes it can be carrots. That's normally like your traditional French mirepoix with celery, onions, and carrots. But if you exchange the carrots for like bell pepper, that's like a holy trinity for like Cajun, New Orleans style type dishes as well. So you can just stir that in. We're gonna cook that down for like 1 minute. But you don't really need to cook garlic for that long because it'll like burn real easily. That's why we're adding it in at the end. So moving on, you're talking about Noir and how it's been your biggest accomplishment. Many nightlife spots focus more on drinks and vibes, but you've made food a big part of your experience. What was the vision behind the menu, and why was it important to emphasize the food as much as anything else?
The menu, we have to give all credit to Josh. Josh is a crazy chef.
He is. I've met Josh. Delicious food.
He's worked in all type of different kitchens, from your club scenes to your fine dining to your wing spots. So it was heavily leaned off of him, and the focus on food, that's what he knows. Like, found on nothing else, this food gonna be good and we'll figure the rest out.
I mean, it always brings people and it keeps people. It just is such a comfort to like know that you're gonna have food there. I hate being like drunk and hungry, like while I'm out, like searching, scavenging for food. I can always go to Linq. Linq's kitchen is always open. It stays open until like 4 a.m.
It'll be open longer than the actual restaurant. Like, if somebody there and they're hungry, we will keep the kitchen open for you.
If you're there and you're hungry, like, just go. They be doing like complimentary brunches, like late night.
On Friday, Saturdays, they are doing
Complimentary,
complimentary buffets. They've been like
very nice. So like if you've already been out searching for food, I want some waffle. You don't need no Waffle House. Go to Linq. It's a beautiful brunch buffet. So next we're gonna add some tomato paste. So I'm gonna do one. You're gonna add like 2 tablespoons. So that's about a tablespoon. You can add some. Good. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Can you stir that in for me? I'll check on this stuff. So I love Linq at home and also there, but I'll order from either or depending on like what I'm craving. It's rare for nightlife focused businesses to have such a strong takeout presence. What made you decide to do that, and what made you decide to bring your menu to Uber Eats, and how has that impacted your business?
So like I said, Josh is very food focused, and during COVID, that is what kept him in business. And without Uber, it would have been a weird 2020, but he was literally nothing but Uber because no one can get out, but that's what really took off Uber and DoorDash. So him just kind of learning how they worked and running multiple kitchens through just one kitchen. So we had restaurants there.
What are they called? Sleeper kitchens? They're called like
Sleeper kitchens or ghost kitchens.
Ghost kitchens, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had about 10 different restaurants under one building. So the main reason, of course, is just add to your bottom line. Our kitchens don't close. Like I told you, if you want it, go get some food at 4. We are going to give you some food at 4.
So what's that like ingredient, like having 10 different kitchens focused on 2 different things? How do you utilize all those ingredients? Like, or how do you buy all those ingredients to fund those?
You literally just kind of have to, like I said, he has the experience from that COVID year to know what he needs to buy. So we never overbuy, and then with there you can kind of underbuy without the expectation of somebody coming in and be like, man, you ran out of this, ran out of it on Uber. If you ran out of it, you just shut it down.
Yeah.
And no one's really gonna shed it to
so
your
smart. Yeah.
So you kind of balance on how much you want to sell. So you don't have to kind of keep versus a restaurant where every week you're gonna see, okay, sales went here, I need to do here.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, you just need to get it out.
Very smart. Ghost kitchens. Okay. So we're gonna add our crushed tomatoes.
Here.
We are using the San Marzano brand. Everybody says,
Okay.
yeah, the whole thing. Our head chef, Chef Catherine, said that these are very nice quality crushed tomatoes. So very much so like more authentic, so we get that more authentic. What are the signature dishes people have to try when they come to Noir Kitchen or Linq?
When it comes to Noir, it's going to be that lemon chop. It's a zip sauce you have to have. A lot of customers say, hey, can you not put the sauce on it? I've never had it. I don't think I want the sauce. I always say, trust me, you need the sauce. Some niggas lemon chops.
The zip sauce.
Yeah.
What's that flavor profile like? I've never had the zip sauce.
It's a sweet, but still a savory. So it was able to meet sweet and savory into one. That's why you get it. It just doesn't taste like it. So that is our most popular dish. And then right under that would be the stuffed salmon.
How do you get like such a well-staffed kitchen? Like, it's kind of hard to find good kitchen staff.
Yeah, it's really kind of word of mouth. So once you finally get a smaller staff, they kind of have an assortment of people who come on and kind of cut through and say, hey, I got a friend that wants to, kind of work. And a lot of time with your kitchen workers, they want a lot of hours. So if word gets out that, hey, such and such gives you the hours you need in the kitchen, you're going to find pretty easy.
Okay, so I just added a little bit of Dano's seasoning. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with that, but you should be if you cook anything. It's like a really good non-sodium flavor added to lots of herbs. And here we have some Italian seasoning. So I'm gonna add like a hefty bit of that or marinara sauce. And with the tomatoes in here, we're gonna simmer this for a good 30 minutes. But I also have some onion powder and some garlic powder. I'm gonna add the garlic powder. Yes, cheese grater. She said, let me get back. So the service at Linq in Noir Kitchen is phenomenal. They know what they're doing, okay? They have a fine dining element to them that I just wanna compliment them on right now. The food and the drinks, they come out quickly. They're always on top of it. You know, unfortunately at Black-owned restaurants, sometimes we have a bad reputation when it comes to service and timely ticket times. What systems have you put in place to break out of that stereotype and keep customer retention nice and high?
Well, we originally struggled because we didn't have the resources. When we originally opened, it was like we got everything together and we had to open. There was no 10-week training program like your regular restaurant. Right before they open, they get 10 weeks to just fully train up before they come in. So once we were able to take the time to actually get training, we had to go out and find a third-party trainer to come in who runs all the training programs for Houston's restaurant chains. So he does his own training program. So we brought him in, and they literally sit down on Zoom calls every week with their servers and teach them how to talk to a customer, teach them how to sell. So it really took the time to invest in that for us to really catch their stride and figure out how it was.
It's interesting that you say that they're literally trained by a Houston trainer, because I do get that feel like I'm at a steakhouse when I'm at Linq or Noir. So that's awesome. Like really, like I applaud y'all for that, because that's literally how I make my money, is by having like good service. So that's great that y'all like went out and actually incorporated that third party service and knowing when it's time to do that. Knowing when you need help is essential as a good running business. So that's awesome.
We read all of the comments. We read all of the reviews, and we listen. We wrote sometimes.
Yeah.
But we forgot.
Yeah. No, that's good that you listen and take note of what people are actually telling you. Okay, so our sauce is simmering. Now we're going to immersion blender this. So my family, they always laugh at me because I'm like, I didn't realize it because, I'm not always perceived. But like when you start telling people like what you're doing, they're like, are you a kitchen gadget person? And I didn't know that it was such a faux pas or like a thing, but I am a kitchen gadget person. I do love buying. I need like a little closet for my kitchen gadgets. One day I bought this at Walmart. It's an immersion blender. She's like, why do you need this?
Yeah, like I said, I have not seen that
before. But I know I need it. Today, we got it and we need it. We're going to use it. We should scoop that. Okay, I don't want to mess up nobody's trip on the show. But you're just going to immersion blender this. We're doing good. No pops, no flops. I really do like your sweater, by the way. I do follow Chad on Instagram, and he always has on like a nice sweater. I didn't realize that was his brand. So y'all gotta check that out. What's it called again?
Fan of myself.
I'm a big fan of myself. You think that sauce looks good? Like the chunkiness of it? So now we're gonna make the chicken portion of the chicken parmesan. Let's start by cracking some eggs. That was excellent. Excellent egg cracking. We have our eggs. You can add a little pinch of salt, a little pinch of pepper. Are you right-handed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I always go this way with my. That's nice. I'm gonna have to try the other way around. So in Nashville, Linq has become more than just a nightclub. It's a verb. People say we're linking tonight. Not people. And there's even a hand sign with it to represent it. What's it like knowing Linq has grown into its own little society within Nashville with a cult like following? Did this happen organically, or was it a strategic move on y'all's part?
It was a little bit of both. So a lot of people, like you said, they literally in there like, oh my God, Linq is not a real place. And I'm like, trust me.
It's not a real place. It's a magical fairyland. Like, it's great.
So the strategic part came behind kind of how we exist on social media and push ourselves. A lot of that was thanks to the contributions of Kenise. She's actually very, very good.
Kenise the curator. That's my homegirl. Shout out to Kenise.
Yes, and then a lot of it was also just kind of natural. So you got JG who's pushing it.
Shout out to JG.
Yeah, so everyone knows here. Really good with just kind of speaking with everyone and making everyone feel known and seen. And just kind of with me and my partners, we go everywhere, support anybody. So then it kind of brings in the support for us. So that's kind of where you get the cult following, or everyone like, you know, this is where I'm going to end up. If anything, I'm going to end up in.
All roads lead to Linq.
Correct.
Okay, so Noir Kitchen originally started in Midtown before relocating to East Nashville. What was the thought process behind choosing your new spot, and what were some of the biggest challenges in making that new move?
Yeah, so it's tough to speak about. It's almost shed a tear every time. A location burnt down originally.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a fire, electrical fire. We literally didn't know. Some girl on Facebook, I woke up and she was like, yeah, y'all building on fire. And then she sent a video. I'm like, oh, she told me it's actually on fire. So then I called everybody. We pull up and there are fire trucks blocking off like the next 2 blocks. I'm like, oh, it's burnt to the ground. But we got there, it wasn't burnt to the ground, but it was very significant damage, and that's what kind of forced the move. So from there, that's how we ended up going out into East Nashville. The location, crazy enough, that's originally how Linq kind of became Linq. Really got lucky. The location was beautiful, just kind of ready to go. We were able to jump back in it in less than 30 days. We were able to get started and get going.
Wow.
And
so Linq is the leading nightclub for celebrity hostings and bookings. Is it a lot of pressure to represent Nashville as the club where stars like to attend when they're in the city? And how does it feel knowing Linq is the go-to spot for high-profile guests?
a lot of times they'll randomly kind of come and then they'll ask like, hey, how you get here? Like, man, I literally just asked my Instagram and this is what they were tagging. And that's kind of a warming feeling to even know that you were even kind of mentioned, and then they came to kind of see what you got going.
Yeah, it's dope, like that you are being able to represent the city in that way. Where are you from?
I'm from Memphis.
You're from Memphis? Okay. We love
Memphis. We are from Memphis.
We love people from Memphis here in Nashville. We go together like this. Nashville and Memphis. If you think we don't go together like this, then you're on the outs, okay? Because we do go together like this. We need to cook. We haven't been cooking.
Let's do it.
We have our nicely thinly sliced chicken breasts, and we brine them. I'm gonna have that brine recipe on my website. So we have our flour mixture here. I seasoned this earlier today, and then we have our egg wash mixture, and then we have our breadcrumb mixture. So it's like a little bit of Parmesan cheese and a little bit of panko breadcrumbs as well. So we can mix those two. We can dump them. You just mix it up. Fantastic. So we're gonna take our brined chicken, and we have on some gloves because we're handling poultry. So I guess I'll do it first. Take our brined chicken. We're gonna lightly dust it with some flour, our seasoned flour. Just wanna make sure it's like nice and fully coated. Then we're gonna go into our egg mixture, making sure that we get it like on both sides. Then we're going to, put it into our panko and Parmesan. You want to make sure that you really like put it all on top and make sure you really pack it in so that we get a nice crust on here. So entrepreneurship is all about pitching your vision and getting people to believe in it. Along the way, you hear a lot of yeses and plenty of no's. What was the final yes, the deal or business move that officially made you a nightclub owner?
Official, yes. Was launch night. Really, so that all kind of happened fast. Like I said, Linq was kind of created off of the fact when Noir burned down. We tried that building for Noir and it didn't work. So now we in a lease that we had to do something with because we found a location for Noir.
Yeah.
So the final yes was, all right, guys, we got to do something. We can't just sit around and sit on the building. We don't have that option to kind of do it. So we immediately went into kind of getting it ready and getting it launched. So final yes was really just out of it was like almost a have to. So it's like we have to do something with this building. We couldn't sit on it. So that's what kind of pushed it forward and kind of made us continuously keep running at it.
Sometimes you need to like that pressure on yourself.
It was pressure for sure.
So we're gonna let this fry on one side for about 2 or 3 minutes or so, and then we're gonna go ahead and add the next one. These are pretty larger pieces, so we don't want to overcrowd the pan and take away from the heat. So Bam, who's in? Do you mind me calling you your nickname?
Nah, this everybody calls me, so yeah.
Okay, perfect.
My mother would hate it though, but
Really?
yeah.
Okay. Cameron. Who's in your headphones when you need motivation, and what artists or songs keep you focused?
Song artist, I would go Lyric June,
Okay.
just because kind of what he raps about isn't just your typical like spending money on chains or going out to the club with girls. It's more so like any bit of money he gets, he's trying to invest and kind of turn it over into something for his family and put other people in position. So definitely him, and then it's always kind of like a cruise music to it to kind of get me in the mood. I honestly go with some of the Michigan-based rappers. Their music to me is just
Michigan-based rap, like Detroit rappers?
yes.
So you like, what is it?
Babyface Ray and the Peasies. They're
Yeah.
just upbeat and
I like what Peasy
yeah.
too. 2 minutes, like 2 million. That's like on my like money making.
Yeah, definitely. They get you in that mode to like, man, I gotta get to it because that's literally all they talk about is trying to get to the dollar. So I'll use that to put in and kind of get into that mode.
Right, we're just gonna flip our chicken, making sure it's nice and golden. Do you ever get nervous before big meetings? What is your Get Your Mind Right song or Get Your Mind Right routine before a big business move?
Yeah, big meetings and really just kind of meeting new people. I was never really a people person. Even kind of stepping in and hearing you do your intro, it's like, oh, I'm gonna follow up with that and stuff. So to kind of get me in the mood, I always think of it outside of myself, like looking at it from like outside of my shoes. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like it could be worse. I could be in a presidential debate right now. So that's always my thing. Like somebody else got it way worse than me.
Yeah, that's smart. A third party like point of view.
Yep.
I need to start looking at myself with, like the eyes of like my students or people that I just want to be inspired by me. That's really good advice, actually.
And then, of course, always knowing that the other person is just as nervous as you versus you're interviewing somebody or trying to make an agreement to a business term. They're just as nervous as you.
That's great. This is great advice, everybody. That's nice to humanize somebody else in that way when you might be feeling like intimidated or nervous. So we have this cutlet ready. So as Black entrepreneurs, what unique challenges have you faced in the nightlife and hospitality industries, other than, being more regularly surveilled?
A friend in the business told us to always have your paperwork together, specifically raw vegans, because when something where you are being successful, when things are going good, you'll have a night. The night we had Lotto's, super busy, super packed.
Yeah.
Police pull up, start asking for a bunch of stuff. It's like, why are you out here?
Yeah.
Regardless, it's like, we quick, we got our paperwork here. They're like, all right, cool, and they leave.
Yeah.
Simple. So getting through that and seeing that that's real, that you are a black business, and there are people that do not want to see you succeed.
Yeah.
Just kind of trying to stay on top of everything. That way, you don't create failure because of something that you do.
Yeah, and you can have like control over it. They always want to catch you slipping.
Correct.
So that's nice that y'all have your things in order to where you're able to, thank you, just utilize everything that you have, all your resources.
Yeah.
So many Black-owned businesses struggle with securing funding. What advice do you have for getting capital, whether through investors, partnerships, or personal funding, asking for a grant?
Well, that can come from, like you said, partnering with people.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, when he originally came to Chad. Chad came to me to say, hey, would you want to partner to make this happen? So it was like a fine thing of, you are going to need funding. Our funding came from, like I said, we were in the stock market, and I did a couple of real estate plays when I was in that early COVID where everything was easy to kind of get your money. But funding, if you're going to actually go to a lending, for restaurants, it's nearly impossible to just come out of underground because restaurants are very hard to be successful in. Banks see that very scary. But anything else, you can literally just kind of go into the bank, make sure that your financials are correct, your credit scores are correct. But once you get going and you start making money, then the lending and then the opportunities to find funding becomes very easy.
Okay.
You prove it before,
Yeah.
and you can kind of talk numbers like, these are my numbers. You can stand there with your chest strong, like, I need this, and I need to get some more.
Okay, I'm gonna practice. I need this, and I need it tomorrow. Is that good?
Got it.
Okay, all right. See, so that's the speech. If you need funding, you just need to do that in your mirror. I'm ready. My credit score is great, so I'm gonna go in there with my chest out, head high. That's a bar, actually. Everybody needs to utilize that. That's great. Great advice. So we have our chicken cutlets, nice and fried and golden brown, and now we're going to assemble our chicken parmesan.
Before that,
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
What was the inspiration behind the show to kind of get us cooking and making drinks all at the same time?
So I always knew that I was supposed to be rich. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I've never known how exactly I was going to get to a very wealthy part of my life. I just know that's supposed to happen. So like around COVID, these business ideas started coming to my mind. Different business ideas all over the place. I'm a bit of a Gemini, so I have a lot of different interests. And I just would like write out different business plans. They would just come to me. Like this show in particular, like the concept of the show has just been in the back of my mind. So with wanting to be rich, I always like look at YouTubers, but just I'm always looking for some sort of inspiration to help me get to where I need to be, because the road isn't easy.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? So I like watching other people. I love being inspired. I think that's one of my favorite emotions to feel. And so I really wanted to generate that for other people, for people that are depressed or are sad, or have a lot of different ideas on their mind that God has gifted them with, and they don't know how to make it come to life. And so with interviewing people like you have a particular keen knowledge that I think others will really benefit off of and be able to apply to their situations, and just get some motion, get some motivation to be able to get out there and do what you want to do. So yeah, that's my whole background on like why I created this show.
Content is king, and it's some high quality content.
Content is king. Thank you so much. I also love to cook. I used to make TikToks. I still do make TikToks, but like cooking TikToks, and like on my story, like I would just like to cook, chill, listen to like a Tiny Desk or like Ep.2 or somebody relaxing like that, and I would just share that on my Instagram, and people like started liking it. Their feedback kind of empowered me in a way to be able to be like, yeah, I can cook actually.
It takes that sometimes just to see somebody like bite down on what you got to really give something for it.
I agree, and I just like to talk to people. I love having conversations, and I love asking people questions about themselves. I just feel like mixing all the three and creating a seat at my own table. That's what I'm doing right now. So yeah.
Lovely. Very excited to get the invite to come on.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Y'all inspire me, and I love y'all's spot. So I have some pre-made marinara sauce, and we're going to assemble our chicken parmesan. So traditionally we have our chicken cutlets. So I can do mine too. I'm going to put this nice sauce on top, just layering it, and then I'll put on this one as well. So shout out to Chef Catherine, my auntie. She's the head chef, and so she helps me curate these recipes so that they are to a nice gourmet level. I've made my own like Alfredo sauce, and it gets deep. Like people like, yeah, you can cook, but I'm like, there's still some things that I haven't done.
Let me get some of these.
Yeah. Your turn. But y'all definitely saw how easy that was. Like the only thing that I didn't do was simmer it for 30 minutes on here. But look at this. Like this looks better than any jar, and you know.
And it smells amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we also have some fresh mozzarella here. I don't know why I said it like an Italian lady. Sorry, I watched too much TikTok. But I really did feel like a Noma this morning. Like when I was making all of this food, I was like, I'm somebody's Italian grandmother today. And so next I have some fresh mozzarella. I'm just gonna layer that on top. It's like a couple of pieces. So we're going to put these in the oven on 400 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes. And then we're gonna come back. That was great. Let me grab our chicken out of the oven. It is officially ready. It's been baking on about 400 degrees for about 15 minutes or so now. So here we have our chicken parmesan. Here's two. Beautiful Our mozzarella cheese is nicely melted, but we're missing a little bit of the browning portion. So we're gonna try to use this blowtorch to get a nice crust on here. This morning when I tested this recipe out, and I just used the broiler, but I thought that this would be a little bit more dynamic. Let's see if it works. Hey, it's working. They did this at my job. Getting that nice color on there. Okay.
It's actually working really well.
Yeah, it is.
I was a little skeptical, small torch, but he's doing what he needs to do.
Me too. Shout out to the little dude at the vape shop. He got me right. I feel powerful. This is giving like, I don't know, I'm like a firebender right now. This is wild. I think I gotta get closer to really get that crust on there. Gorgeous. And I made some Alfredo pasta, some fettuccine Alfredo pasta earlier to accompany it. And everybody knows how to make Alfredo warriors. But it's just staple. It's really good. But you gotta just have like a little bit of garlic, heavy whipping cream, and Parmesan cheese. A little bit of salt and pepper, and that's it. So we have our chicken Parmesan here with our Alfredo noodles. And so when you wanna garnish with a little bit of basil, you're gonna slap it to release the oils and the tannins. Yes. And then we can just lay this here. You just sprinkle it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese.
This part maybe I should feel like a real chef.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing a great job. That's beautiful. You wanna do a taste test?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Chicken Parmesan, everybody. Okay. Starving. I'm excited to eat.
We made it.
We made that. Me and you. It was really good, right?
It was fire. I'm not gonna see you.
I think we maybe have turned this into like one of my new favorite dishes. Like for real.
It's fire. They got the crunch and everything to it. God.
Thank you.
Man, I hate to say this better than anyone I've ever made myself.
Hey!
That's just how I give kudos.
Hey! Shout out to us! Thank you so much. Well, we made it together, so it's a collaborative effort. So you get, yeah, absolutely.
And the recipe will be on.
It will be on lifeservedhot.com. You'll find the recipe. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I got one last question for you.
Let's do it.
What's one business decision that made you the most money, and what's one that you wish you could take back?
One that's made most money was the options trading. Like I said, it was high risk, but it was like crazy rewards. You're looking at like 10, 20, 30x times what you put in. So yeah, it took me to the point where I can invest in things and not blink twice about it, because
wow.
The way the money was made at that point was just like, it was a blessing, literally a blessing. Mm-hmm. One that I could take back, man, paying taxes. But nah.
Honestly, girl, I'm so scared. I'm scared.
Oh man, within that same year, AFTs in the crypto market, that stuff was an absolute scam of nothing. Oh my God.
A scam of nothing.
How you can 10, like 20 extra money there, you can 10, 20 lose everything you got. And yeah, so the same people who are in the Reddit, I've seen them same people in Reddit like lose their life savings playing around with the NFTs.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on my show. This has been a wonderful interview. I know that I've gained personally a lot of insight and motivation from this, and I'm really excited to meet Enrique. And thank you so much for coming. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Is there anything that you would like to leave the audience with in regards to what you got coming out?
What we got coming out for Linq? We do have a huge surprise for y'all. Another celebrity guest coming here in April, and it will shock the city once again. Okay. And make sure y'all get brunch Saturday and Sunday in Noir.
Okay, absolutely. I definitely will. Thank you so much. So I just want to thank y'all so much for watching today's episode. I'll catch you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.